Assalamu alaikum. And here's Imiaska, your host on the Stani Army Verdict. And today I have Nav and Umar with me. You right, lads?
Yeah, good,
Very
thanks.
good, very good. Especially after that last session.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow. Interesting day's play. A very interesting day's play. The first session, first of all, we started off, Pakistan finished started on 139 for two, and Babar Azam was 69 not out at the time. And then the first over, chases a wide one, expansive drive, and he loses wicket to Jimmy Anderson. Nav, how angry were you?
I wasn't angry. These things happen. These things happen to players, and it's the ball was moving. It was a totally different conditions to last night. England couldn't have bowled as badly as they did last night. So, um, you know, it happens. He's a good player. He scored 69. It happens. Then Asad Shafiq comes in, however, gets a good ball, and I thought we were in a little bit of trouble. I thought we were in a little bit of trouble then, to be honest. And Rizwan. Now Rizwan is an interesting case because I'm of the pro Safraz party. Safraz never did as badly as people made out. People were for dropping Safraz because he was only making 30s or 40s. He was a coward for not batting higher. It's a typical Pakistani thing. Safraz had good scores. Rizwan has always struck me as a second wicket keeper. His technique is airy fairy. It's not tight. There's lots of shots. He makes big scores inside games, but he's never convinced me. And I think he's two more failures away. I think Safraz will be keeping by the third test match.
Interesting. Well, either way, so we lost Babar, we lost Asad Shafiq. Asad Shafiq, I mean, like, I was saying it yesterday on the show as well to Hamza, and I said, he's an interesting case. After 10 years of investment, he's like, he does it here and there, but he's never become that consistent player.
And let me stop you there. Number 6 and number 7 is always going to have that. You're batting with the tail, so your figures can get skewed by batting with the tail. It's a particular role. Asad has never struck me as you have a certain type of player who starts off at 6 or 7 and moves higher up the order. Someone who's very confident or very, confident in himself. Asad only plays one format of the game. He's not going to bat at 3. He's shown no interest in batting at 3. So he's going to be a 5 or a 6. And sometimes you will get a ball. If you'd said he played a bad shot, fair enough. Jimmy Anderson, overcast, you get a ball like that, it happens, it could have happened to anyone. So let's not judge a player on an innings or a thing. He's also scored the most number of centuries from number 6, I believe. So there's two ways of, statistics and damn lies. So if you look at the number of centuries he scored, then he must be doing something right because no one else has scored that many centuries from there. So
yeah,
and people saying, "Oh, drop us at Shafiq." Oh, hang on, who would you play? Bring another unexperienced lad in. Oh, well, certain Hamza would. Let's bring in Harris Sahel. Now Harris Sahel is a good player, but time and again, he's proved to be, how shall I say, mentally weak. He's managed to avoid tours, keep away from tours, have injuries. You're suddenly 28, 29, 30, and you've not played. Harris is one of these players who seems happier off the field than he does seem on the field. So I such a very fit player.
I'm more happy with his biryani as well. But yeah, let's move on. Yeah, we're going to go to Umar, yeah? So lunch happens, and we're literally all on this WhatsApp group, and we're finished. We're all done, yeah? We're thinking this is it. This is over. And then Shadab comes out. He was struggling before lunch in that little 10, 15-minute period. And all the while, yeah, you've got Sean batting superbly on one end, and then like Shadab comes out and then take us through it.
I told you, didn't I tell everyone at lunch he needs to attack? And everyone's like, no, he just needs to stick in. He did well. He did what he had to do. He did what Asad and Rizwan should have done. And let Sean hold the innings together. Bat. Just tick.
You see, again, to be fair, conditions have changed. Rizwan and Thingy couldn't have done what Shadab done. Shadab came in at number 7, so there's less pressure. The ball wasn't moving. It was Broad. Anderson in the field really looked like he was struggling. He's played 2 or 3 test matches, and there was a couple of times the ball went to boundary, and he looked like he was struggling. I think they had that one spell in them, which our boys got in the morning. Once they've had a bit of lunch, second session, Broad and Stewart, they've got a lot of miles on the engine now, and they were struggling. And our boys found it a lot easier in the afternoon. Yeah, Shadab took a lot of singles, messed him about a bit. But you see, some things come after that. We used to criticise Rizwan and Shafiq, but they did what they had to do. In the end, it's a team effort. It's not a one-player effort. Me not rating Rizwan is one thing, but I'm saying the Shadab came in at the right time and played the right game at the right time. The conditions have changed. The English.
I think what helped was the 4 or 5 overs after lunch, where they bowled Bess and Root, and Pakistan scored about 25 off about 5 overs, and I think it changed the momentum a bit. And Shadab got settled in, and the new ball came in, so he was a bit more settled in when the new ball came in, which helped.
And then, like Umar,
if you played club,
let's listen to 2 seconds. Sean, how good was that? I mean, like, have we had a better opening innings in the last 10 years? I can't remember one anyhow. Has there been one?
He just stuck it out. He just stuck it out. He batted, which is what you wanted to do. He anchored the innings, and everyone else is batting around him. And obviously, a few failures.
South Africa, Australia, England are the 3 tours that we really struggle in. If we're honest, the 3 places we go where we struggle. And the last decent, real decent innings, 100, was 1996, Denver. And after that, the only other nearest we've got to a century is it's the 2006, 2010, 2010, 2016, 18, and now 95 by Hafiz in 2006. So nearly 24 years for a century. And
wow!
2006, he got 95, and that was a test series where we started off with 2 sets of openers, but a third, 4th test match we had a totally different set of openers. So to score a century in England, against the English thingy, not 100, 150 odds, right? So Sean was again one of these players. We saw him in Australia as well. There was the first test match that we all stayed up for, and Sean batted. And your concern was with Sean was, he could block up an end, but where were his runs going to come from? He had strokes as well.
I think we should just call it the Nav Show.
Just leave that bit walk off. Right. Let's finish this off. Yeah. Let's listen to a bit of Umar as well now. Yeah. Basically, he's got 156. The beauty of that was, he played in like gear 1 and 2 all the way through, and then when Shadab gets out, and then like Abbas got out first ball straight after that, he turned it in, and I mean he treated Bess with like little respect, and then like he gets 156, 326 all out. We would have taken that any time, especially on that wicket.
I would have taken I would have taken 250.
At lunch, we would have taken 250 at lunch.
Exactly, but if you look at the surface, they've made it ideal for us. It's dry, it's spinning, it's suited our batting gear once we grinded it in. And it's definitely going to suit our bowlers because it's going to be reverse swing there, regardless of sweat, saliva. With sweat, they'll get enough reverse swing out of this picture. pitch, and then the ball's already spinning. So when we're going to move on to the bowling, yeah, how good was that from Naseem and Abbas straight away?
Shaheen.
So Shane and Abbas, how good was that? I mean, like, they've come in straight away, bang on the money, and just good old traditional Test match bowling. Just what we love to see.
That's what Pakistani did for batting to us. It's like we've survived. Pakistani batting is a torture to be endured till we get enough runs on the ball to bowl, and when we bowl, that's when it gets interesting. And there was that first 4 or 5 overs where every ball was going to be a wicket. Demolition in progress.
Umar, describe that Stokes ball. Just describe. I mean, like,
I think it's one of them.
That's what he would say.
Yeah. How do you mute this guy? I mean, like, he's batting out the crease, and then, like, what actually happened?
Halfway down the pitch, takes a big stride out, misses it, and hits top. Like, if he couldn't have hit it more perfectly on off stump, right on the top of off stump. And that was a big wicket because Stokes is in form. He's just a couple of big hundreds against West Indies. That was a big wicket. And
literally had him walking.
Is he one of their own?
Yeah. I've watched it about 15 times
one of
already.
Their starred overseas players. He's one of their starred overseas players, isn't he?
But now I have don't start.
I was wondering when this is going to come in. But that was it. We've got a comment here. I'm just going to have it. Shabazz Khan, happy with Yasir Shah. I think he bowled pretty well. He's leaking a bit of runs, but then Leggy was going to do that, isn't he? But then, like, he went and got the important wicket of their captain.
Yeah, he got the big wicket of Root. Root was just sticking around, about 60 balls, 15. So he got that one. Good keeping from Rizwan as well. That was a good catch.
My concern is we've given a few runs away, but you've got to take that risk to reward. Moving forward, what are we looking for tomorrow? We really want to get them out for under 160, 170.
The thing is, I'm looking at the second innings now, and I'm thinking that we can post a target of 220. They're not chasing that, not on that surface.
I think if we get a lead of 130, 140, then we're looking like 200. It's very reminiscent of the 2016 test we went to him, the Misbah test at Lords. We got 300 odd. We bowled them out. Had a lead of 100. I think we made 180. They're 280 to chase, and we spun them out. They're not making over 250 in the final innings.
And like you said, it will swing. The condition is going to be really hot tomorrow, so it will swing as well. So we don't know what Hopefully the boys are on it, and we can just roll them out.
I mean, if it's hot and the sun's baking, our spinners will be in action. And if it's a bit cloudy, well, we've got the free seamers to come in at them. Nav, you remember Masood?
Masood.
Give me that look. Masood Qazi. Qazi.
Yeah. Yes, I remember the Qazi.
Yes, I remember the Qazi. Well, he asked us a question here on Twitter today. Yeah, and he said, "Would you rate Abbas's delivery to Stokes in, Old Trafford more adorated or Wasim's delivery to Dravid in Chennai?" It's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, I think I'll probably still pick Wasim because Wasim had him LBW earlier in that over, and then like when you give him the outswinger, Dravid is clueless. But Abbas today was
to get some. He was absolutely superb today, Abbas. 79, 78 miles an hour. Very reminiscent of Terry Alderman, if you don't remember him. Just coming up and wobbling the ball about. You don't have to have a load of pace. He's just putting it in the same spot. He don't lead a lot of runs, but he can tie an end down, and that's what you need especially with two younger fast bowlers. I mean, the thing is, that should really frighten the English. We could have picked Wahab. We could have picked, Amar's retired, Sahel Khan. We could have picked Musa. We could have picked a team of fast bowlers. I mean, we're playing with 3 number 11s. We could have played 11 number 11s.
I was driving home from work, so I missed
and the other
about 15 minutes. And like, I think on TMS they were saying that they done a little quick check on QuickViz, and Abbas in the last 3 or 4 years, I can't remember what sort of time span.
48%.
48% of balls are hitting the wicket. That is
which
pretty.
Is subjective, yeah, which is he's a top bowler for doing that. But he's got 78 wickets in 17 Test matches of bowling at not express pace. So a lot of that being taken in the UAE. He played more Test matches in England.
Just to sum this up, both of you. I mean, I've got one more comment, which is Mohammed Barkat, and he said, "I'm having bad vibes that Pop might get a ton. We'll be all right. Don't worry. First,
the team will get him tomorrow."
Yeah, exactly.
We need one. We need one. We need one wicket. Wokes hasn't been in good form. Then they've got Bess, Broad, and Anderson. Both teams have got long tails. They've really, long
They've
tails.
got Wokes next, haven't they? Wokes next in.
Yeah, Wokes is in 7.
Yeah, Wokes is high at 7. Like we've got 3 number 11s as well. To be fair, but if you take out Burns and Sibley, who are so players, England have got 2. You can get Root and Stokes up, which we have done, and then really you really fancy our chances. We need one more wicket, and we're into the tail. We could bowl them over for 150.
We're gonna finish this off first with you, Nav. Prediction for tomorrow.
One or two ways. We roll them out for 160, or they make 400. Roll out for 160. We'll have a second inning. We'll have a second innings collapse. We'll get 200. We'll somehow get to 200. Set them 350, and this game will be over by lunch on Sunday.
Do you know what? I'll take that happily right now.
Easy peasy.
Umar, you any predictions?
Like Nav said, it's one or two ways, isn't it? It's either ideally we get them out for under 200. I think if we get Pope early tomorrow, then it's possible. But if Pope sticks around, Butler's a bit. You don't know what way he's gonna go. Well, hopefully we get him out for under 200.
It's important.
Go on, Nav.
It's important we keep Butler in for a few runs because we want to play this Test series because he's catching is worse than Cameron Knuckles.
Ooh, that's harsh. That's harsh against anyone. But yeah, thanks guys for joining us today.
No
1 minute. There's a couple of questions. Deb said, "I'll go for that, Nav." I think that's like the thing. She also said Pop is quality. And we've got some guy called Tabriz Ali Janjua who's actually asked a question. I wonder who that is. Don't you think Sean did well when he was hit on the elbow? I've seen some people collapse like a sack of potatoes. I'm not going to even say anything.
Who's it?
Do you want to release the footage?
Is that Janjua? Is that Janjua the Indian?
You know what? I'm done for today. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.